Hello there and welcome. So, the Team Corally Triton, it's damn good. It's a really good truck, but needs a few modifications, which is what we're doing today. The first modification, I guess it's kind of an upgrade this. You've already seen the big wheels, the big tyres. These are Proline trenchers on, I'm not sure what Proline wheels they are, sort of 6-spoke things. Nice though. Much wider stance, let me just empty that out there. Much wider stance than the original Team Corally wheels and tyres. Look at that. Much wider. Gives it such more mean a stance and mean a look about it. It's so much cooler looking. It actually looks now like someone's taken a pickup body and fitted it to a Proline Pro MT, which is no bad thing at all. Speaking of the Proline Pro MT, you may remember, if you've seen the unboxing video of this, I was commenting about how tough these big front arms are. I mean, look at the size of those big front arms. I thought, wow, I actually said on camera, wow, they're probably about the same size as the Prolines, holy crap. Yeah, I take that back. I take that back completely. Look, I've got the Proline here. Corally front arms, you see them? It's kind of dark, there you go. Proline front arms. Okay, I take that back. The Proline is an utter beast. But anyway, they're still good. They're still big. Right, so it looks like a Proline Pro MT now, sort of, which is no bad thing. One mod that I do want to do to the car, which I haven't done yet, is look at the amount of wobble in this shell. Right, ready? When you're driving along, it does that all the time. You hear it constantly. Sounds like a Tamiya lunchbox when it's driving along. Easy way to fix that. Lift the body shell off. Put 4 O-rings on the posts on top of the body clips that are underneath. Bit of body clip, bit of body shell back on, body clips, fine. I can't do that today, unfortunately. It's such an easy thing to do and it would stop this. I was at Matthew's yesterday, we were working on some RCs. He had 3 red O-rings of the right size. He was like, why don't you take them? I was like, well, it's fine, I'll have some at home. So I didn't take the 3 red O-rings. What have I got at home? 1 red O-ring. I can't find any matching O-rings. I thought I had some, but I don't. So I can't fix it, even though it's so simple. Anyway, that's fine. So that's something I suggest you do. Just get some O-rings on the body posts. Stop that wobbling around, that horrible rattling noise, because it does it all the time. You can hear it constantly. Dead easy. Just, in fact, there is no bottom clips. Just an O-ring around there, sorted. The most critical modification needed so far was the steering servo. Steering servo is appalling. It's a terrible steering servo in this truck. But Matthew and I have fixed it. So, to explain, when you're driving along with this, you give it an order to go left or right. The servo saver is taking up the slack in opening and shutting, very much like the FTX Comet one did, which means the wheels aren't responding, or they'll respond too slow as they're catching up. That is 100 times better. 100 times better. I can still feel it. I can still feel the servo saver. I can still feel it activating and working, but it's perfect for this sort of. I mean, I wouldn't accept that level of movement. Yeah, it's not very much, but I wouldn't accept that level of movement on a racing touring car. But this is a monster truck and a basher, and it'll have the front wheels in the air the most of the time, so it's fine. Right, this is what you do. In there is the servo saver. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. It's a sort of, it's like a big servo horn thing, a big fat servo horn. There's a servo saver inside it. Oh, it's gone a bit dark. Can you still see it okay? You can still see okay. So inside that, you can split it. It's 2 halves. You can split it open. There's a push fit thing below it, so you've got to push that out from the bottom or out from the top. Push it down, push it out. It's quite stiff, but it's a sort of push fit. Anyway, you've got these 2 halves. And inside you've got a channel, goes almost all the way around. Not quite. It's like a horseshoe shape. You've got a plastic, sort of, I don't know what you'd call it. It's a piece of plastic anyway. That's part of the housing. That's a sort of, it stops it, and then there's the channel. So in that channel you have a long spring that curls all the way around, and it's got a plastic spacer on each end of this long spring. So you've got 2 plastic spacers and a long spring that slots into this channel. That spring is the servo saver, and it's the spring under tension. As you turn it, the spring gets squashed and tensions up, and it's the resistance in that spring. It's under quite a lot of tension, but it's not under enough tension. So what we simply did was, you got the two plastic spacers, they're about 3mm thick. You glue one, a similar one on each, so you've got another two to make 6mm in total, roughly. Which basically means if you add 3mm here, 3mm here, you've added 6mm of compression to this spring. So rather than the spring being up here, the spring's being compressed down because the plastic's now in there, if that makes sense, and the spring's being compressed more. It's a bitch to get back in again because it'll fight you because it's under more compression. When you rebuild that, screw it all back together, you'll find that the servo saver acts properly and it's not horrific. For example, hold on. There you go. They wouldn't do that before. Even if you put some compression on it, a bit of weight on it, it works properly. 100 times better. 100 times better. So there you are. Servo saver fix. Critical. Do that. Definitely do that. Next thing on the agenda was the spur cover. There was no bung. There's a bung now. There's not just that. I'll explain in a second. Guess which of my models, which of my RCs came to the rescue again? Guess which one? Which RC is always coming to the rescue and it's always the one that they depend on? Correct, the Mad Rat. Okay, so basically I converted the Mad Rat to the X2 spec years and years and years ago, which meant I had lots of spares for it upstairs, including a spur cover bung, okay? But the Mad Rat one is too big to fit on this. It wouldn't fit. It just wouldn't go on. It's way too big. But the Mad Rat one was only slightly too big for the XXX SET. So I could persuade it to fit on the XXX SET. So you move the SET one, put the Mad Rat one on. Now I've got an SET one spare. That was only a little bit too big for this. Again, you could persuade it to fit. So I have a Team Lossy XXX SET spur cover bung thing on there. There's also a hole drilled underneath this cover. Probably because they didn't have a bung, so they want to let stuff out so it comes out. I don't know, but there's a hole drilled there, in there. Well, there's no point having a bung cover if you're going to leave the hole. So under there's a castle sticker. You can probably see that. What I did is I put the castle sticker on it, and then remove the cover, put the castle sticker on the outside, and on the inside used a bit of glue gun glue, hot glue, some people call it. Just squirted that in there, smoothed it off, and it's against the sticker. So the sticker is just covering up the ugly glue gun glue, but it's not there to seal it. The glue gun glue seals it off. So that's that done. Spur cover is now completely sealed. So that's good. Job ticked off. There was a little bit of, not grit, but dust in there from use without the cover. So it's obviously essential you need one. At least I would say so. Now the next major mod, one I have yet to do, is the wheelie bar mod. That angle is okay brushed, but I'm going to have it brushless and it's going to not be enough. Basically what you need to do is remove this piece, and I need to get links to fit in there. That's something I haven't done yet. That's something that needs to be done, so let's just get it done. Right then, let's have a look. It's better, isn't it? Yeah, definitely better. So I've taken this off. You'll see that it's actually, it's not equal, it's not symmetrical. Come on, can you see that? Focus, there you go. It's got a turn in it, so that, ooh, diagonal. So I've had to make two different links, two different lengths. There you are, so there's my wheelie bar now. Hopefully that's strong enough. It feels solid, but you never know until you try it. I've had to put a nylock nut, where is it? There it is, on the end. So the bolt that comes through there, and then I put the nylock nut, through there. Put the nylock nut on nylon side first because there wasn't an awful lot of thread. I don't have a bolt any longer than that of that size. So I'll put the nylon side first to make sure it bites. Should be okay, should be fine. We'll give that a go. I'm quite pleased with that. It's taken me a while to do this though. So I'm running out of time. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon now and I've not had lunch yet. I'm starving, so and I'm not right there yet, so I might need to pick this up later. One thing I forgot to mention, but you probably noticed, is I've taken the light buckets off the body shell. Basically, I didn't like these sort of Mickey Mouse ears. That's what I thought they looked like. Get my dark jumper out of the way, like Mickey Mouse ears. Also, they folded back, you know, on the first run. They were folded flat, so the beams would be pointing up in the sky. There was no landing it upside down or outside or anything. It was on all four wheels the entire time, apart from when it was in the air, but it was still upright. Probably the vibrations or the shock or the wind pressure or all combination of all three as you're driving around, they're just going floop and flopping back, and I don't think they look that great anyway, and I can't be bothered with them lying flat, and it just looks silly. So I've taken them off. I think it actually looks meaner without it. Frankly, if I wanted spot lamps on it, I'd have bull bar, I think, with spot lamps. That would be awesome. But anyway, there we are. What's next to do? Right, so we've basically done the spur cover, we've done the wheelie bar, we've done the steering, servo saver. My particular one has a bit of a funny thing where one shock is reacting really slowly, the other one isn't. They've got two different damping rates in them. I will service all four shocks. They say in the manual to put CSP, I think it's 1000 CSP weight oil in there, which equates to the equivalent of Team Lossy 80 weight, which is quite thick, but you know, they are really big bore shock absorbers, so that's fine. So I have some TLR 80 weight here, and I'll service them. And then we'll swap the electronics over from the Pro line. Why is there a piece of... let me get that. Come on. Come on. There we go. Yes, Pro line is running the Castle Creations 4600 kV Sidewinder 3-speed controller. It's also got a Savox servo, digital servo, metal geared. This is actually quite a good servo in this as well. It's metal geared as well, but it's 9 kilos. The Savox is 10.5 kilos, and it's digital, and they're the same spline. So I'm going to swap the servo over as well, so that the Pro line will be sold with full set of Corally electronics: servo, speed controller, receiver, transmitter, motor, all Corally in the Pro line when I sell it. And then this will have the Savox up front, have the Castle Creations power system. So there we are, that's what I'm going to do, but you might need to pick this up later on today or tomorrow because I'm hungry and I need some food. So cut. Right, well, it's ages later. It's now 5:30 in the evening. I've been at this basically solidly, apart from my lunch, for hours. So it's finally brushless. I've got a Savox servo, which is actually no faster at all than the Corally one, but it's a little bit more powerful. And lots of power. And obviously, the wheelie's better. The reason it's taken me so long is this car, turn this off just now, this car is an absolute nightmare to replace the electronics, to work on certain features of it. And it sounds like a bad thing, and I suppose it is a bad thing, but it's not entirely a bad thing. The reason I'm saying that is, you know, everything's hidden under here, and the servo's all buried under here. You have to take all the bulkhead apart and stuff. And then there's a very clever cable run up the side here. It's all bolted down, and the cable snakes between these bulkheads, and then it goes under here. It's locked away like a bank vault, the stuff in here. It's so strong. Everything through it is so strong. And when I was working on the Pro line to get the electronics out of it, the Pro line basically had flat surfaces for you to stick things down, and then all the cables are exposed, and you just need to tie them up themselves. The way this has got everything hidden below, the receivers under here, for example, underneath the speed controller, I can't put the cage over it because the new one's too big. The Castle Sidewinder 3 is too big for that. But everything's locked away and hidden and protected by various components and bulkheads and stuff. It's like hacking a bank vault. I was going to say uncredible because I was going to say unbelievable and incredible. It's mental. It's so strong. When I first ordered this truck, I'll be honest with you, I thought it was just directly competing with Matthew's ECX Ruckus, and I thought, well, I'm going to have a big step down here from the Proline Pro MT because there is no two-wheel drive monster truck as good as the Proline Pro MT. It'll just be another one of these sort of good. I expect it to be good, and the ECX Ruckus is good, but it's got sort of floppy chassis and stuff, and quite a lot of play and slop and things, so it doesn't matter because it's tough and it jumped well and the rest of it. No, this is much closer to the Proline Pro MT than I expected. It's worthy of it, frankly. It's so strong. Even behind these, you know, the cable runs, there's reinforcement all the way along, so this doesn't have a twisty chassis like a lot of the monster trucks of the similar design is. Some of it, okay, like I said, the suspension arms are big, but not as big as the Proline. But the shocks are bigger diameter than the Proline. The chassis is different because the Proline has a metal chassis, then some plates, some protector side plate things to stop the dirt getting in. It's a different shape, different sort of layer, different way of thinking, but it's no worse. It's actually basically, yeah, it's basically equal to the Proline Pro MT, which I'm really pleased and surprised at saying. I'm not going to say it's quite as good because the Pro MT has all the adjustment, you know, adjustable suspension and everything, but it's not made anymore. The two-wheel drive version isn't made anymore. I think this is now taking the crown of best two-wheel drive monster truck on the market. Obviously I haven't given it enough running yet to find out for certain, but it's just, everything's so well thought out, so well hidden, so well compact. Everything's just so massively strong. It's crazy. With one exception. Here's the body shell for it. Fine. Here's the Sentinel body shell from the Proline Pro MT. If I use just a tiny little bit of pressure, the roof came in, just a little bit. Whip, 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 whip. I'm not pushing hard. Whip, whip, whip. Proline shell. I still have a lot of work in front of me. Here's the poor Proline at the moment. Yeah, it's going to take me ages. I still haven't serviced the shocks. I'll do that, you know, off camera, and get this ready for you next time. And next time you see the Triton, we'll run it brushless. Looking forward to it. I hope these tips have helped you out. I hope you've gained some information from it. Thanks very much for watching, and take care of yourselves. See you soon. Bye bye.